Welcome to Wuhan University.
We are a couple who were working in Canada. We were making good money doing what we loved until we decided to give it all up and took off to see the world. We have been traveling for 180 days now. Am I blocking you actually?
No, it's okay.
You can move around and use that. Yeah.
Right. So we've traveled for about 180 days now, and the plan is to travel for 2 years in total, which makes it 731 days. Traveling around the world is our dream, and that's what we're doing. We've been spending 4 months we spent 4 months in South America, and we've been spending about 7 weeks now so far in China. We will be leaving very soon, and we'll continue our journey to see the world.
Yeah, so we are here mainly to share our story, and primarily Melody's story, which is of a crazy dream, as you can see, to travel the world. And it's just the main motto here is to inspire and sort of make you think and give you an example of having crazy dreams and maybe following through with them, because they can always result in a much more fun life than always following the norm or doing the typical thing. So that's what we're here for. We're here to share our crazy dream, and hopefully it is an inspirational story.
And because you only have one life, so you want to make it the most fantabulous. And before I start sharing how it all began, I wanted to ask you about your dreams. Whether it is, becoming the astronaut, which is a big one.
Some huge dream like that. Yes.
Or it can be, wild.
Going to Tomorrowland.
It can be something very specific, like getting a Lamborghini, or something grand. Or
like having a baby which can sleep on a cash bar.
Yeah, like that's the point of it.
Yeah. Or something simple like Toblerone.
Yeah. So, before I start, I just wanted to know, what is your dream? Bring the inner child out of you and imagine the wildest thing and share with me and everyone in the class. So, who wants to go first?
Or you can choose someone.
I can go first.
Okay.
When I was 5 years old, I used to want to be an Indian guru who would just go around preaching weird stuff. Then I realized that I don't want to be a weird guy, so I had a better dream, and now I'm traveling. How are you guys? Just you can share anything crazy, anything normal.
Don't be
Give some
afraid
examples.
of being judged by others, because they don't matter. So whatever you feel like is your wildest dream, let us know. Anyone?
Come on, guys! You're the top tier of your language school class. You're here to explore the world, so.
You must have some dreams, right?
Yeah,
Something.
I'm sure. Speak it out, guys.
Has anyone talked about their passion in the class, what they wanted to do in the future, or something like that?
Seldom. I guess kind of they are very shy and
Don't be shy.
somewhat.
We're gonna start pointing.
Yeah, you can point.
Okay.
Bella, share your dreams with them. She's in my, direction. Yeah.
Lucky for you.
Don't worry, it's no. Okay, no big
I'm
deal.
glad to be the first one.
Awesome. What's your name, by the way?
Bella.
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 Yes.
That's a nice name.
Yeah.
One of my wildest dream is the same as you.
Okay.
The same with you.
Right.
Yes. I also like I like to travel all over the world with my family.
Cool.
Yes.
That's bigger than my dream, actually. I just travel with him.
Yeah.
It's also your family.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want
We can't take her family.
and
So.
for myself, I want to be an independent woman.
Oh. Wow.
That's awesome. It's really good.
Yeah, nice. Thank you for sharing, Bella. Thank you.
Alright, guys.
Just for the fact that you spoke first, I'm sure the dream of becoming an independent woman will be very easy to achieve.
Yes.
Anyone else?
All right, red cap.
Red
Just one
cap?
red cap.
That's Johanna.
Johanna.
Yeah, that's you. Share with us.
In fact, I really don't know what's my dream. Just let things go. I never think about it. I
Oh.
just do.
Okay.
I think I don't have a dream.
Then I think you will find her story very relatable.
Yeah, that's pretty much my path. I had no idea what I wanted to do, what I wanted.
Find some boys. You can point.
Oh, boys.
Okay.
Wow. Only 5 of you guys.
But we have 5 of them. When you were in
That's true.
you have only like 2 or 3. 3, I think. 3
We
or 4.
have 30 students. I think we have like 20-ish. So
Ah,
having
yeah.
a few,
Yeah.
the same amount of
Okay.
guys were like
Right.
I like that guy style who's wearing all colorful stuff.
there you
Colourful.
go.
Who's that? Okay, it's
I
Dennis.
like colors.
That's Dennis.
Yes.
Dennis?
Dennis, yeah.
When I was 5 years old.
Well, Dennis, you can be 6 years old when you have dreams.
When I was 5 years old, I wanted to be Spider-Man.
Ah, nice.
And that's when I started to play the piano. And in primary school, I think I kept practicing, and I really want to be a pianist in the future. But somehow my parents broke the dream for me because they think that I shouldn't just study music instead of mathematics and English and other stuff. She thinks that my academic performance is not bad, so I can't just study music. And now I don't know. Actually, I don't know what my dream is. I just kind of have a motivation, like I want to be a lawyer, but I don't think that should be called a dream because I haven't actually studied classical music for like 3 or 4 years, so I'm not fond of that anymore. So that's it.
Wow. There's so much to take away from your story. First of all, everybody should learn from him. He started dreaming at age 5, right?
Yeah.
Actually, yes. Clearly a very good, big positive here.
Yeah, and I can also relate to your story in the later stage where your parents thought, the pursuit of music is not a sustainable career, but we'll get to that.
So basically, your parents thought that pursuing their version of your dream would be ideal path for you versus your own dream.
Yeah. That's a bit sad. But I hope you'll find a passion of your life eventually. And, it's not too late to go to across the hall. There's a school of law.
You can just sneak in. Just
Anyways, anyone else? All right, I think that's good. Good enough. So after hearing your version of your story, I think I can start mine. I hope this works.
Yeah，把鼠标移到这个屏上面。对
That's how it works.
Yeah.
So before we start, who do you think is eating who? Is Melody eating that lizard or is Lizard eating that Melody?
So
Is that iguana?
iguana. Yeah, this is when we were in Colombia.
Medellin, Colombia.
So my story is basically a story of awakening of self-awareness, a struggle of my self-discovery, and the blossom of everything during and after that process.
How did you remember that?
That was a mouthful. So I was born in a small city, or a town actually, in Hubei province. Just like any child in my generation, I was the only child. I had a comfortable-ish childhood. Everything was planned for me, so I didn't have to worry about anything. The only thing I had to do was to study hard and get good grades. So that's what I did, and apparently that's for a long, long time all I knew how to do. I'll get back to that. So I advanced my ways every step of the way to Wuhan University. The summer, I hope my friends don't kill me. So evolving through that, and we all look.
Which one are you?
Let me have a look. How many of them I can still remember?
Oh, is that you?
This one is
Yeah, that's you. And this one I still remember. And she's in the UK now.
yeah, she's in UK.
Oh. 好多我已经认不出来了。再过10年，你的照片打出来，我也不认识了。
Yeah. So that was pretty much.
Wait a second, that's not all the students in your class.
No,
right?
no, that's
No.
just
Okay,
in the
that's
whole
Lisa.
year. So.
要不然我就认不出来。
Yeah.
Okay.
But this one was in your class.
Yeah, that was that.
This one was in your
Yeah,
class.
yeah, I remember.
Okay. Fun exercise. Cool. So basically, I got into Wuhan University the first summer. I saw a poster on campus promoting a summer work and travel program. And something rare happened when I saw that poster. I got curious for once in my life. So that curiosity changed my life. So I went to the U.S. Again 9 years ago. So ignore the fat skin and stuff. I came back from the U.S. realized that before that point of my life, something had always been missing without me noticing. And that something is freedom. I'm not talking about freedom from school or freedom from your parents, freedom from, real responsibilities. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about freedom, that kind of free spirit hidden inside me for a long, long time. For example, I was working with a few colleagues in the US and California. They were very, very annoying, very, very lazy. Traditionally, historically, I would have been very non-confrontational. I would have just kept my mouth shut for the sake of harmony. Everybody understands that. So, but that time I was very brave. I told them, I got the courage to come up to them and said, either you clean up your act or I'm gonna report to the HR department. So that's what I did. And long story short, I got them fired. But that was not the point. I'm not saying that I'm proud that I got people fired.
You're proud.
Okay.
very, very proud.
A little bit. A little bit. But the point is, for the first time of my life, I was brave, I was free, and I was happy. So after US, I thought that this Pandora's box was open. Now it can't be closed. I didn't want to be the person who everybody expected me to be anymore. I wanted to be me. So I told my parents I wanted to stay abroad for a while, and the only way to do that at that time for my family's financial condition was for me to study master degree. I still have to stay in China for as long as I can finish my degree. So that's what I did, and I studied really hard, like even harder, because I already mentioned studying was all I knew how to do. So I studied even harder, but that was not for the pride of my family anymore. I was studying hard for myself. And I guess reasons reap result. I finally graduated from Wuhan University, and I are my roommates, lovely people. So finally, I advanced my way into one of the top tier universities in Canada in the master program, which only accepted 50 students from all over the world. And I felt really proud because for the first time in my life, I was very motivated to do something for myself instead of feeling pressured to do something to impress other people. And for the first time in my life, my struggle and my hard work had a meaning. So I struggled my way to finish my master's degree because of all the cultural differences and everything. Finally, I thought, well, what a relief, I got my degree, I made it through. When pretty much all of my classmates were going into job market directly, I came across another poster promoting an optional summer exchange program. And at that time, once again, I was curious. And I thought, I've never been to Europe before, and this program is going to take me to Copenhagen Business School in Denmark. amazing, right? So once again, I took onto that opportunity. Let's see. Yeah, so I am very happy that that curiosity changed my life again, because one of the most direct impact of that school, of that summer, was this guy right here, who I met the second day of the program. So it was very tough for such a relationship, because after the program we had to separate. He was a student from UK, I was a student from Canada. We were both not from the country we came to the program from. So it was very tough. We had a long distance relationship, like cross-country, cross-continent.
Between UK and Canada.
Between UK and Canada for about a year. It was very tough, but we made our way through, and we found a way to stay together eventually. And we got married 4 times.
Yeah. 4 times, because fun story, I proposed to her on Skype. So we had to do a really good wedding afterwards just to make up for that really, really sucky proposal. So yeah, we got married twice in Canada.
2 times in Canada. That's our humble home. This is some kind of ceremony hall. And once in China.
Oh, in China or in India?
China?
This is China.
This is the third one
This is
in
India.
China.
That's India.
That's India. Oh, you need to see other.
I think spring is stretching us, looking really
Yeah,
fast. So yeah, these are my parents dressing in Indian style. This is his parents in their traditional attire.
I think I saw the pictures on your like.
Yeah, I did share.
Yeah,
I
once
did
or
share. Yeah, I use WeChat like once a year. Yeah. So that's till that point, everything went really well. Until the year of 2017, I got some mental health issues, and I was really fucked up. So it was because too much happened too fast. I did not yet build that mental strength to handle it all. It was too much for me, so I collapsed. I didn't know what I wanted. Once again, I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know why I was doing what I was doing. I was working, looking like I had a goal or something. I didn't know really what I was doing. And most problematic, I didn't know who I was anymore. So I was very confused. I was lost. I was scared. So eventually I realized that I was depressed. I had to seek for help. So I found a psychologist. I switched actually one after another until I found someone that I really liked and trusted. And after that experience, I actually think it was a blessing in disguise, because what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? So after the experience, it took me a long time to recover and found myself again. But in the end, when I got out of that dark period, I realized I was feeling reborn, like a phoenix out of ash. That's way too much, I know. Anyways.
By the way, it's worth mentioning that was all 2 years ago? No, now.
2017.
17. Yeah, 2 years ago. And she was working at RBC, so that's the biggest bank in Canada, and they're always on top of the chart for employee satisfaction and all that. So it is a job which on paper will look like it will provide you with a lot of content and satisfaction.
Yeah. My parents were so proud when they heard that I got into RBC, Royal Bank of Canada. They know it's the biggest bank in Canada, and for a foreigner student just graduated, got into that job is pretty rare. They usually don't hire non-experienced personnel anyways, so it was a proud moment for my parents.
Yeah, and then she left it. So.
Yeah. So basically everything was seemingly going well, apart from the fact that I lost myself. So yeah, basically that was kind of a dark period of my life, but I went through it and learned a lot. Everything eventually got back on track. I started a business building a mobile app called Beyond, aiming to foster genuine and positive relationship in people's life. And he found a dream job as well. He started working as a mechanical engineer doing what he loved. So everything went back on track, but soon after we realized that things got stagnated because you're in your comfort zone for too long, and we decided to stretch ourselves out of the comfort zone and once again challenge ourselves. So we decided.
That's what I'll continue with. We're gonna be talking for a while.
Okay, come on.
So basically last year in April, I was just driving to work, just another normal regular day. I had an idea. What if we just travel for a while? In Canada, you're only allowed to take 10 days holiday. So I was not thinking about 10-day travel. What if we just travel? This was just an idea. This just came to my mind, and 10 minutes of driving, it sort of fostered into this dream. I was like, oh, I need to do this. This is the most amazing thing I've ever thought of, and it needs to be done. So I quickly went to work, and instead of working, I spent the first 30 minutes just sort of on an Excel sheet. I made an Excel of my life if I don't travel and my life if I do travel, and how will it sort of change over the next 20 years. Yes, engineer. So I need a way to justify stuff like this to myself. And the life, because of travel, there were only positives. There are risks of doing something like this. You're leaving jobs that, like, she was working on her app, I'm working in a company that I really like working for, and we're both satisfied with our work, and being at that position just makes it way more difficult to leave. But yeah, that's just something that just clicked and became a dream in an instance.
Yeah.
And
from my perspective, basically what happened is he once from work just messaged me, like text message, how about we travel around the world for 2 years? Blah. And I'm like, wow, that's an interesting thought. And then he sent me an Excel spreadsheet. On the one column, he was like, oh, this is what's going to happen if we travel, if we stay like what we are for 2 years, living our daily grind. On the other side, this is option number 2. What happens if we travel for 2 years? Like, you can compare, like, apparently which one is better. Like, okay, that's very convincing. So, I thought, well, this guy has already thought it through. I can't really see a problem with this plan. And that's why we did it. And honestly, it was because when you are in the comfort zone for too long, you stopped realizing a lot of things until something clicks and something happens. And you realize, oh yeah, thinking back, all those growth in my life, all those amazing people I've met, all those awesome experience I've had, all those deep insights I gained for life, they all come out of stretching yourself out of your comfort zone. Because comfort zone is comfortable for a reason. Nothing changes, nothing advances, nothing happens. So
this just made me realize that this sort of mindset, because we both share it, that's one of the reasons we're together.
Yeah.
Because we're not very comfortable in a comfort zone. We both get a bit uneasy.
That's true. And another reason was because at that time we just came back from our Indian wedding. And we just came back from our Indian wedding. I was shaken to my core by the magical experience, like in a good way, shaken to my core by the magical experience we had in India. And it was perfect timing when he mentioned this crazy idea. I was just wondering if 2 weeks in India can do this much damage to me, what could this curiosity change my life? So we basically got rid of all our belongings. We got rid of our apartment, our car, our belongings, and this is all we have left. We had 2 backpacks and 2 carry-on suitcases, not those check-in suitcases, 2 carry-on suitcases. And we bought tickets and took off to see the world. We had different agendas, but we were heading to the same direction. He himself, he wanted to explore the world. I actually wanted to explore myself through the world. He, throughout history, always knew what he wanted, very, very clearly, always knew what he wanted. And he for once in his life, wanted to actually let go and just to get lost. And me, I'm the opposite. I never knew what I wanted. I've always been searching, and for once in my life, I want to be found. So we have different agenda, but eventually it worked out for both of us. And ever since then, we've been traveling with traveling while working online. So he is a online fitness coach, aiming to help people improve their personal health. This is our account called Be Green Monkey because I know there's some controversial topics here. He's a vegetarian, and he is very into fitness. That's why we call it Be Green Monkey. Monkey just symbolizes being active and loving life. Green is vegetarian. So you have something to say about it?
No, you're over-explaining.
Okay. And I am a online life coach, aiming to help people improve their mental health because of my personal experience. And together we run an account. We post daily. We post a 1-minute travel video, aiming to inspire people to live their life to the fullest. So a lot of people say you're just having a 2-year vacation. That's not true. We're actually working while traveling.
Yeah, we're probably working harder than we have.
We're working harder before.
For example, in the last 48 hours, we have slept for 8 hours in total.
For the last few days, we've only slept a few hours in total.
Yeah,
so we work really hard. But it's all worth it because this is our dream. We are doing it. We love it. It's absolutely worth it. So that's basically how we started.
Hey, by the way, before you continue, do you guys want to participate in a quick photo or a video for our channel?
Let's do it.
Just, what can we say? Just welcome to Wuhan University or something?
Yeah. Can you guys help a little bit? We just make a very short video clip. Everybody saying welcome to Wuhan University or something like that.
Let's see lighting. Hold on.
Make sure
Can I see everyone? Capturing everyone.
Is everybody?
Apart from her, you're not in.
Oh, okay. Move a little bit. You wanna move here?
Yes.
So what shall we say? Welcome back to Wuhan University.
Welcome to, because this is gonna be shown to the world. So we're just inviting.
So inviting other people, just
Okay.
whoever is watching it from
Yeah.
wherever. Hi guys, we are today in Wuhan University doing a presentation.
Welcome to Wuhan University.
That was not practice. Okay, just came out perfectly.
Cool. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah. So now I'm just gonna share a little bit about what we've learned through our travel so far. We've been traveling for, like I said, almost half a year now. There are a lot of stories to share, but I just summarize them into lessons. I won't be able to.
No,
it's fine. It's been. I won't have time to share all the stories behind this lessons learned, but I feel if you guys get curious, we can always chat afterwards because this doesn't have to be the end of the story. So let's see. These are the lessons I've learned through my travel. On top of a mountain of Medellin, Colombia, I learned about human beings. I learned that we're social animals and we're wired for connections. Since I understand more about human beings, I much more now prefer to talk about deep conversations rather than just have small chats. And during my wedding in India, I learned that being vulnerable is a very beautiful thing. I learned that being open to share and show your vulnerability is actually your superpower to connect to other human beings. In most cases, we love people, not because despite of their imperfections. We love people because of their imperfections. While climbing a waterfall, and we actually went behind the waterfall in Baños, Ecuador, I learned how to cultivate curiosity. If I walk through life as if there's always something new to learn and to be discovered, then there will be. In China, when we are oftentimes told to behave just like everybody else, I realized that it is diversity that actually makes the world a beautiful place. In Coca Canyon, Peru, I learned that it takes so little material possessions to be happy. And honestly, the less I own, the happier I am. And showered by lavish compliments from this guy right here, I realized that people, we all need to be grateful. And now I have a much deeper understanding of appreciation. And honestly, a lot of that comes from how do you show your appreciation. We are all very grateful of what we have, but a lot of us do not have the ability to really express our appreciation and gratitude. I learned that from him. And after experiencing the beauty of South America, I learned that travel is not about finding new sights. Travel is about finding new perspectives. And by observing behaviors of my parents, I actually learned that, while people say knowledge is power, I realized knowledge about yourself is your superpower. While shopping in China, I learned more about respect. That's a funny story, but I learned that respect is earned. Respect is not inherited. And by being homeless for so long, I learned that home is within me. Home is not outside of me. Home is wherever I am with the people I love. So these are a few things I learned from our travel, and hope that is resonating. If not, I think maybe one day you will happen to realize, oh, there was a girl in my university class talked about this. Now I know what she meant. Right. So that is what we've learned from our travel. I basically realized that through all these travel experiences, a lot of things are unfolding for me, piece by piece. I learned about my nature. I learned about my inhibitions, my dreams, my desire, and my ambition, and everything. When we came back to China, we had a lot of fights with my parents because apparently we do not live up to their Asian standards of being successful. Mainly, finding a stable job, working hard, and dying rich. And we haven't bought a house yet. We haven't had any kids yet. But at the same time, they also, unfortunately, do not live up to our expectations of good parents who empower and inspire their kids to chase their dreams. I am talking about this because, just like Danny's story, I'm talking about this because it happens to a lot of people who want to do something or anything out of the norm. And you have to understand you have every right to make your life the way you want it to be. And you have every right to chase your dreams. That's the message I got from this whole travel experience. My dad, when I mentioned that I am going to become a life coach, my dad said, you're not successful. Why would anyone want to be coached by you? When I told him that I'm coming to Wuhan University to give a talk, and he's like, well, you're nobody. Why would anyone be interested in listening to what you've got to say? And I guess everybody's definition of success is different. That's all I can say. And
yeah, you guys always have the right. You only get one life. You have the right to follow your dreams, and you have the right to make mistakes and or make successes, whatever it is. Only get one life. If you have any question, the only way to answer is to either do it or find out more about it.
Yeah.
If you get curious, it's almost always worth it to give it a shot. Because either you like it or you don't like it, but definitely it's gonna enrich your life more.
So I'm not saying that all parents are like that. I'm not saying all people are like that. It's just that some people can be conservative. Some people can be dragging you down and saying, like, staying in their comfort zone and get very stuck and set in their own way and judging you from their perspective. You just have to hold yourself up and know what you want. So, like I said, maybe it's just because everybody's definition of success is different. Okay, this is a different font, but anyways. My definition is summarized perfectly by Earl Nightingale. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Again, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal.
How many people here have no clue what that means?
I think he still has no clue what it means.
What is that? Is that even English? What is this?
Okay, I'll explain. Hold on. Basically, it says success is more about the process rather than the results. Because if you fall in love with the process, the result will naturally follow. At least that's what I believe. So this one resonates with me perfectly. I believe I am successful because I am living my dream life. A lot of people are not. I am living my dream life. And for most part, you know, I am super fulfilled. I feel very motivated. And most importantly, I am happy. Not just because everything is really worthy being happy and grateful for. It's also because I am making other people happy. So in return, I feel even happier. My life has a meaning. Yeah, so for that reason, I do think we are successful, and I do think that we are heading towards the right direction. So up till this point of our journey, the toughest place, like I already explained, is China. Not because of the internet censorship, well, although it is a pain in the ass, especially for us working mainly on Facebook and Instagram and Google. It's such an inconvenience here. But I am talking about it is tough because I found myself constantly fighting against the old me internally. Like coming back to China, everything flooded in back to me. How I used to be, how things used to be, how people used to be, all these influences all flooded back to me. It was very tough. It looks like from the outside, I am just experiencing some reverse cultural shock, but I know deep down it is because I am reconciling the old me with the new me internally. I think I, unfortunately, haven't been able to put my thoughts and feelings into words, so I might not be able to today articulate them very well, but I know that it's going to take me some time to feel, to understand, to analyze, but once I do, I will have fulfilled a full circle. I will have gained a new level of clarity about who I am, where I came from, and where am I going. So, yeah, if this is in Copenhagen, that's an epic picture. They actually use this picture for their next cohort as a promotional document. Like,
yeah. So it is from 2014. That's why the
2014.
The bad quality is still acceptable.
If there is anything to take away from our story, I want it to be this. As difficult as it might be, growth is a very beautiful thing. And if you take the most out of every learning opportunity, good or bad, you will be taken to places that you never imagined you could be. And who says it has to be painful? When you look back, you will realize that this journey is full of joy, happiness, hope, love, excitement, and beautiful memories. Thank you.
Yeah, this is something that I would add. Just a quick thing that don't be afraid to do a little bit of mischief. and don't be afraid of challenging societal norms because it's too boring otherwise. Just enjoy life. You only get it once.
Yeah.
Make it whatever you desire to be.
If anyone is interested, if you also get access out of the Great Wall by any chance, they will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Melody.
Thank you. What?
Okay, what do you think the true love is?
Oh, true love.
Your true love.
I think, I was not expecting that question.
This is a harsh question. Careful.